Welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists, an occasionally smart, always irreverent look at sports in St. Louis and beyond. And now, your St. Louis Sportists.
Hello and welcome to the podcast from the St. Louis Sportists. My name is Ron Cook, and I am joined by Joe Sperlin.
Hey, I'm glad there's 6 of us and not 5.
We got you, Jaden.
Yep.
Doug Lansdowne.
We almost look like Hollywood Squares.
Oh, we do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
who's in this?
I call
Who is Paul?
Paul
Paul Lynn in the center square. Yeah. Tom Mathis.
Good to see everybody. Another fun week.
Keith Farrell.
Hello, all. Good to be back.
And from deep in the heart of Texas, April Sechting.
Glad you would have me back to this elite group.
In this edition, it's the college football preview in 15 questions, and we invite you to play along. The Cardinals have their worst weekend of the season and quite likely end their playoff contention, but never fear, Nolan Gorman is back. And St. Louis shines in the national spotlight with the BMW Championship, and we'll have a Sportists on the Scene report. St. Louis Sportists are brought to you by First Coast Steel Buildings. Chasen and his team will take your project from design to completion with a family-first approach. Learn more at onestcoaststeel.com, and we'll hear more from them later in the show, as well as Sandra Templeoff. And happy birthday, Sandra. And tonight's last call is brought to you by Black Dog Consulting, LLC, here to help the one-truck owner and the small fleet owner to grow and prosper. Contact our buddy Dave at 417-217-9622. Black Dog Consulting, helping you retrieve bigger profits.
Always good.
Yeah. Folks, as far as the thing that, I said we're reducing the ask to one thing from now on, and that would be to, if you haven't already, like us on Facebook. That's awesome. You can like us, you can follow us, you'll see clips, you'll see all sorts of things. You'll feel like an insider. If you'd like to watch this, we are at STL Sportists. You can see the Hollywood Squares effect, and our website is stlsportist.com. So no quick hits this week because it's the college football extravaganza. Here to officiate in the black and white, to be the provocateur, the moderator, the, what did they say? The master of the Hollywood Squares, Mr. Peter Marshall. No.
Oops.
It's April Sechting.
Happy to be here. I'll just give you a little glimpse into the world that is Central Texas right now. Could not find the proper officiating gear. I don't know if it was off-season contract negotiations, somebody sending me a message. I don't know what this is, but I did find an old soccer, do I call it a kit?
It's a kit.
A kit from Newcastle that I acquired many years ago. You're just going to have to make it work. And I also can't find my whistle, so I'm going to channel Roy Kent and just yell, "Whistle!" if I need to stop what you're doing and pay attention. So,
Nice.
Are you ready? Do we all know the rules of engagement? I'll go quick and try to mix it up. All right, we are going to kick this off with the University of Mizzou. I'm looking for the number of Mizzou wins for the season. FanDuel over-under, FYI, is 6.5. Ron?
I have decided this Mizzou season is going to be a lot like a political, like a presidential thing, because you can look at the country and know that state's red, that state's blue. It really comes down to like 5 or 10 states. Same thing with the Mizzou schedule. You look and you're like, that's a win, that's a loss. It really only comes down to about 3 games as to what they do. So I see their floor as 6, their top as 8. So thus I say 7 wins. And I think back to that good old Music City Bowl because they like going to Nashville.
All right. Joe, what do you think about all that?
I think what he said was true, but hey, I think in all that recruiting, the drink forgot to recruit defense. So
That sounds important.
they got to win 3 games on the road at KU, at Mississippi State, and at Arkansas, which is probably a pretty good idea. So I'm going to say 6-6 with an appearance at the Liberty Bowl in Memphis versus a to be named Big 12 team. Should be really interesting.
Nice. All right. Doug, Your thoughts?
I think Drink is going to have several drinks and give winks because there's no way they win more than 5.
Wow.
Mm. So that means no bowl unless you're going for a long shot.
They're not bowling.
They're flushing.
Well, that's the Lou Holtz line. The only bowl we're going to is the toilet bowl in Flushing, New York.
All right, Tom.
It's going to be close, but I have them at 7 wins, and I also have them in Memphis, Tennessee.
Liberty Bibberty. Okay.
Okay. They're up against 5 ranked teams right now on the schedule with a new system, new quarterback. I just cannot see this team exceeding any expectations, to say the least. So I got them at, we'll say 7 wins. They'll pull one out someplace, likely on their home turf. I'm with Joe. I think the Liberty Bowl is going to be a likely destination.
Okay. Well, Joe, since you were the trendsetter, we're going to take you across the river to Illinois, and we're going to go for the Illinois wins for the season. They have the same over under.
The Big 18, their schedule doesn't make the teams near as gassed as they do in the SEC. And they've got a pretty nice schedule, and they got some people at home. If they beat Nebraska and Iowa at home, Illinois goes 7-5 and goes to the Yankee Bowl in the Bronx.
Ew, why would you do that?
Because Bert likes going to New York. That's why.
There you go. All right. Forgive me, all of your New York listeners.
Yeah.
Doug.
I actually think Bert finds magic in an extra game, and I think they go 8-4.
Ooh.
And I think they go down south somewhere to one of those bowls. I can't keep them straight.
Hope he plays South Carolina again.
Yes.
Ron.
I agree completely with Joe because I had 7 in Liberty Bowl. I'm sorry, I had 7 in Pinstripe Bowl. So I think Joe's back to Blazing Saddles. Joe Sperlin is right. And I do want to give them a shout out for their fantastic new video board. Folks, if you have not seen video of their new video board, it is almost twice as big as any video board in college football. They basically took up the entire end of a stadium. It's crazy.
There's a reason to go to an Illini game now.
There is.
And it's technology. Take it, Tom.
I also have them at 7-5. I just don't think they have the talent to win any more than that. I'd love to see them play Mizzou in the Liberty Bowl, but I have them in the Game Above Sports Bowl, where I do not have any idea where that game is played.
Okay, Keith, what can you add for the Illini?
Not really a whole lot. They're kind of in Mizzou's boat with new quarterback. I believe they have a new quarterback this year, right? So that's, but they got steady coaching. So that's going to pull out an extra win or two. So I can see them hitting that 7-win marker. And I'll have them playing in the Gasparilla Bowl down in Tampa.
The what now? Do what now?
Gasparilla Bowl.
Gasparilla.
That's exactly how it's spelled.
Gonna look it up later. All right.
Yeah.
I think the more you know. I always learn something participating on this podcast. So we're going to go on to North Carolina wins total. And the FanDuel has them at 4.5 for the over-under. So what say ye, Keith? We're going to start with you.
Well, I took a peek at their schedule. Looks like East Tennessee State is their only pushover game. And they were 7-5 last year. East Tennessee State lost to Tennessee 72-17. So I'm going to chalk that up as the only sure win. But I say they're going to go under.
Woo!
1.5. And
All
that's going to lead to a first coach getting fired.
Okay. We'll revisit that.
We'll revisit that.
I'm going to regret asking this, but why do we care about the North Carolina win?
Belichick.
Oh, okay.
and his smoking hot daughter.
Yeah, we
Or,
care
I mean,
about Jordan.
girlfriend.
We care
And
about
her-
Jordan.
Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Really need to learn how to spell that.
why is daughter spelled so weird? Okay. And I'm back. All right, let's go to you, Ron.
I had them at 6 wins because I think, Joe, they always talk about how the biggest improvement from in a college season is from week 1 to week 2. So I think he's going to improve from season 1 to season 2. And he might be distracted and old, but I don't think he's a bad coach. So I have them getting 6 wins.
Oh boy.
Is that damning with faint praise, April?
I think that is damning with faint praise. That is some
Okay.
you guys are giving people a lot of grace on building years. Every single question so far I could sum up with it's a building year. Joe, what do you think?
I think now with the portal, every year is a rebuilding year.
Oh,
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true.
I think they're going to go 4-8 again. And I'll have more comments about Bill when we get coming up.
Uh-oh.
I look forward to it. We're going to stay in Ava with Doug's take on North Carolina.
I'm going to go with Ron. I think they somehow scratch out 6 wins and go to Wells Carolinas has a bowl, right? Maybe they go to the Myrtle Beach Bowl. Is there Myrtle?
Mayo Bowl.
Oh, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. That's the one where they pour mayo over the coach.
Yeah,
It would be worth
I
it
think they
for
scratch
them
out
to
6, so they go
win a
east.
bowl game.
Oh,
You're-
that is so disturbing. And I know you're right. And I've seen it and I tried to block it out just like wife, daughter, girlfriend. Oh,
Actually, that is brilliant. I am now hoping that they go to the Duke's Mayo Bowl and they win because I think seeing Bill Belichick doused with mayo would be oddly satisfying somehow.
could that
His
be a
girlfriend would have nothing of it. She will be
she'd stop
shooting him.
Yeah.
Oh, so much to say, so much to say. Tom, save us.
Sadly, I don't think they will make a bowl game or the Mayo Bowl. I have them at 4 wins myself. Their nepotism DC is already out. He's got some health issues going on, so that's not going to help issues. So I just think 4 wins is about all they're going to get.
Right on. That's a strong way to close out the North Carolina question. All right. How about some Ahmad Hardy rushing yards? Go, Doug.
I think he's injured more than they're telling. And the reason I think they only win 5 games is I think he gets hurt again, maybe an ankle or something. I hope I'm wrong, but I see him getting about 650.
Oh,
All right.
Wow.
Decent. Okay, Tom.
I'm going to be optimistic here and say it comes back feeling pretty good, maybe not 100%. I'm going to go with 1,239 yards.
Holy cow.
hey.
Specificity. All right, Keith, how about you?
I'm just going to stick with a nice round number of 1,001 yards.
That is technically not really a nice round number, but I like
You don't think
it.
so?
I mean, it's kind of like binary code here, but I'm
There
there.
you go. Love it.
I got you. All right, Ron.
He had a lot of his yards last year against the Cupcakes, and he's going to be out for the Cupcake games. So that's going to be Roberts getting all of those yards, and I think Roberts will Wally Pip him a little bit. And so you'll almost look at a shared backfield situation. And, Joe Sperlin, to your point, I think the defense is going to put them in more of a passing situation more often against those teams when he's back. 591 yards.
Oh, the under.
91. Right, and we'll round it out with Joe.
Ron, I will agree with you, sir. You know, he had 550 against 2 teams they scored 50 on. So, and everybody else, was rushing under 100 because it was like times they forgot like he was even there. when he had 10 or 12 carries for 48 yards against people. So I'm going to say he plays about 9 games, and I'm going to be nice and say 900 yards.
That's quite a spread we've
I
got
would have
there.
said 901, but that would have been crazy. That's not a nice even.
Crazy count,
Come on,
right?
Joe.
Fred just in, keeping score at home, which this time I am, and I don't think I'll try not to lose it this time. But the low is 591 and the high is 1,239.
That's
So
quite a spread.
quite
It
the
is quite a
spread.
spread.
I'm no mathematician like Joe, but like,
I will agree. That is quite a spread. Quite a range and diverse numbers.
and there's a mean and median and mustard, and we're going to go on to number 5,
Yeah.
which is the first coach fired. And we're going to start with Tom.
I'm going to beat everybody to the punch because I think there's going to be a lot of guys lining up for this. I'm going to say Bill Belichick. He might not make it out of Dublin.
So does anybody just want to second that emotion so we can move on quicker? Or does everybody want to?
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Anyone else? Any other takers?
I will third that motion, but I'm going to say this. He's not going to get fired. He is going to retire due to personal health conditions. Because
Personal
history,
or personal health, because
both,
these are
all the
nuanced.
above. Because I'm going to tell you what, track record, when you have Bobby Petrino as your OC, not good.
Oh, he's kind of like the Grim Reaper.
Yes.
You know?
And I'm gonna throw another guy in there that's also health related that will probably announce his retirement by the end of the season. Probably will be Coach Prime, Deion Sanders.
Oh,
Ooh.
Really good point.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for setting the scene, Tom. And we'll go to Doug now to see if he's got somebody else.
I think the old boy at Baylor is the first guy to go. Big 12's
Former
a little,
LSU assistant.
Yeah, Dave. I always say his name wrong.
Aranda.
Aranda. Yeah. I think the
Because
Big
Doug,
12's
he'll
just
be the
crazy
guy
enough.
he'll be a guy at the press conference that says, "If you don't like the way things are going, just fire me."
Yeah.
Does he ever put up with a please, please, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Dabo says that, they don't listen. But when Aranda says that, they'll listen and fire.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, Ron, let's take us home on that ever popular.
Apologies, Joe Sperlin, but it's going to be Mike Norvell at Florida State, and I'll tell you why. Week 2, just if you look at your schedule, week 2 is SMU, week 3 is Bama.
He does carry a
Hey,
$50 million
Ron,
Biden.
I'd like to quote the old head ball coach Steve Spurrier, who said, "Well, you got Florida State down there, and they can't even fire their coach. Can't afford it."
That's why I didn't pick Norvell.
And the logic comes full circle.
There you go.
All right, we're going to get into some, dare I say, calculus here, because we have to start with the highest ranked preseason team that won't and rank. And we're going to get started with Keith on this one.
I'm going to say USC. This Big Ten, not kind. Terrible travel schedule. They do have a couple of cream puff games early on, but I think they just, as soon as that Big Ten season starts up, I mean, they're walking into a volcano. So I'll say USC.
I almost picked them, Keith.
Well, Ron, who did you pick since we're here now?
I went with the maize and blue of Michigan. I think that the Big Ten has become the Big 18, Keith. The Big 18 has become extremely competitive, and unless their quarterback situation improves dramatically, they're going to be playing that prevent offense and relying way too much on their defense.
Okay, that hurt me because the prevent offense went straight to my heart, Ron, but we're not talking about the NFL today. So we will just go to Joe. for his highest ranked preseason top 25 to finish his unranked.
Those two comments hurt from those two previous gentlemen. I am not an Underwood fan, but I'm going to go with this one. And I wish I could call into Paul's show, but I'm going to go with Alabama.
Oh,
Well, that'd be it for Mr. DeBauer.
Yeah. They kind of are just waiting, and they're going to play a pretty decent East Carolina team, and they're going to struggle with that. And then they're just going to kind of make it by Kentucky and Florida State and South Carolina and Mississippi State. And then they got dudes they got to play there at the end, and people are just not going to be happy when he ends up losing 3 or 4 games there at the end.
Mm. Okay, so Bama for the fall. How about you, Doug?
I'm going to stay out west and pick Washington.
Mm.
I think the travel catches up with them,
There are
even
too many.
though they don't play out west. So
There are too many questions for me to devolve into what the actual fluff of spread out conferences and no more geographic logic and
nope.
be calm and go to Tom. See how I made that? Calm. Go to Tom for the last question.
I am going with the Mississippi Rebels. I just don't think that will be able to keep up the momentum that they had last year, and I just don't think that. I mean, they got Chambliss and Lacey, but they got a lot of holes to fill.
All right. Well, we are going to turn our frown upside down and talk about opposite, the unranked team that you believe will finish highest in the top 25. And we're going to start back with Ron Cook.
They've had a little friction here lately, but I am going with the Horned Frogs of Texas Christian University.
Mm.
They return, and one of the reasons why is they return a stupendous number of linemen on both the offensive and defensive side. And, Joe Sperlin going back to Phil Steele. One of the things Phil Steele looks at every year is the teams that return the most people, which is even more important in this age of transfer portal and NIL. So, Horned Frogs.
Horned Frogs.
Or no, there.
Yeah, go Froggies. All right, Joe, what you think?
I'm going to go with one with the revived Pac-12. Boise State plays Oregon, and then they don't lose another game, and they slide up in there, and they're that 12th team. But then another surprise team I think that's going to show up there is the Florida Gators. And here's why I'm saying them. They're going to be that sandwich game in between people. When I sit there and I've got that kind of the game that I'm looking ahead to next week, and Florida's going to step up on a few dudes, and they might go 9-3, but I think they'll be up there. They're going to surprise some people.
Sandwich. Oh, okay. Doug, go ahead. Your turn.
South Carolina. I think they're going to figure out that quarterback is pretty good at running the ball, and they're going to run the ball a lot, and Beamer's going to figure out a way to block a punt and run a kick back, and they'll beat some people.
Yeah, I thought about them too. I hope those receivers going to come back. Are they going to make it back? I never did hear.
I don't
how
know
bad
for sure.
they out. So,
Tom, what do you think about all this nonsense? By the way, this is probably my favorite question of the 15. I love it because it's chaos. Like you are predicting the chaos, and what do I love?
Chaos.
yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I like Joe in picking the Florida Gators. I think with Summerall as a coach, they're going to be a little bit better just with him being there. And then they have a 3-game stretch where they have Georgia, they have Texas, Georgia, and then they have Oklahoma at home. That's their roughest 3 games. Before that, and after that, it's not much. And the SEC, you got to remember right now with the 9-game schedule, if you go 6-3 in conference, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
What a world. What a world. Keith, what do you
I'm not going to surprise anyone with a Florida pick here. just kind of doing some digging here. They got a nice offensive coordinator who's going to be a guy from Georgia Tech who's been known to throw up some points. And with whenever you have a team that's got some question marks and you got an experienced coaching staff, there's some upward mobility in the standings for these guys. Tough as nails schedule. But if they can pull off 1 or 2, 3 wins, that puts them in a major bowl game. So, so the Gators, you never count them out.
Awesome. All right. So for question 7, listeners, keep your eye out on TCU, Boise State, the Gators of the University of Florida, and South Carolina for the chaos. All right. We're moving on to number 8. The over-under of 3.5 SEC teams in the playoffs. Go, Joe.
4. The 4th one is my surprise pick, Texas A&M. Georgia, Tennessee, OU, Texas A&M.
Woo! All right. Okay. And Doug, how about you?
I say 4 also.
Any wild card teams in there?
I say OU gets in.
Oh, cool. Tom?
I have 4. Georgia. I think Texas will be there. I think Oklahoma, their defense will be there. And then I think Alabama will slide in.
Ooh, okay. All right. How about Keith?
You're going to send Georgia. You're going to send Oklahoma, Texas, and there's going to be a mystery team. There's going to be 4, but there's a mystery team, and we'll let the December fall out.
MIZ.
Tom. Ron, are you going to hit us with a not so fast, or are you going to go with a 4?
Not so fast, my friends. I'm going to say 3. I am going to say Georgia, Oklahoma, and your Louisiana State University Fighting Tigers.
Oh, I thought you didn't bet with your heart anymore, my friend.
I don't do that.
Somebody's drinking the Kool-Aid.
No, I'm actually drinking a Kettle One martini.
But if it played, it would be the Purple Saurus Rex.
Yes.
That is Kool-Aid in Baton Rouge.
It is. Yes. As they would say, Tom, a drink before your dinner.
It's only civilized. All right, we're going to go to number 9. Over under 3.5 is 3.5. The Big 18 teams in the playoffs. Go, Doug. Sorry.
That's Keith's name for the Big 10, by the way.
The Big 18. Yeah, well, right. I can't math that math to make it make sense. So let's go, Doug, on that one.
3.
3. All right, we're under with a 3. And Tom?
Under Ohio State, Indiana, and Oregon.
That's my 3 also. I should have said that.
All right, nice. Keith?
Same. For Mr. Originality today.
Ron Cook?
4.
Not so
fast. Like it. You're extra.
Michigan.
And no, because I have Michigan not making the top 25. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that. It'll be Ohio State, it'll be Indiana, it'll be Oregon, and then a dark horse to be named later, not being Nebraska.
Yeah. A and B. Anybody but. Never mind. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, April, you know what the N stands for on the Nebraska helmet? Knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Go be great. Okay, Joe.
I'm going to go just because they've won the last 3. There's going to be 4 of them. It's that SEC Big 18 love. And even though Keith didn't agree, I'm going to say that USC slides in there and knocks out that other SEC team and the other Big 12 team. So the Trojans will be the surprise out of all of that. That'll be the controversial pick when USC slides in there.
I want to agree with you because I think there's a recency bias, and I think everyone remembers Indiana just smacking around Alabama. And I think if it comes down to a 4 versus a 3, they would say, okay, and plus all of the the champions have been from the Big Ten. So I think it's kind of like, well, SEC, you've had your chance. So that's why I say 4-3 to the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But does SEC ever really get a referendum? Tell me when that's happened.
See, and you said that you
I'll
wouldn't
wait.
do any advanced processing. You just did.
I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look up referendum.
I'm sorry. Like, given the earlier day and didn't think I was capable of that either. But for 10, we're gonna bring it back down to my home city currently. Is Arch Manning a Heisman finalist? Be careful. And we're gonna start with Tom.
By process of elimination, I'm going to say yes. I just don't think there's a lot of great candidates out there.
Okay. Keith?
Exactly the same reasoning. He'll finish number 5.
Whoa.
He'll be invited and sit in the front row, but he'll be number 5.
Well, it's a good thing he's got a good poker face. Ron.
Finalist, yes. Winner, no.
All right. Joe?
Does Herb Street still work for ESPN? Then yes, he's a finalist. And no, he doesn't win.
Ooh, all right, Doug.
I'll agree with my 2 Ava alums.
He's there, but he doesn't win.
Yep.
Okay, gentlemen. Well, then who do you believe, you crazy prognosticators? That's another one. And we're going to start with Keith on who do you believe is going to be the ultimate Heisman winner?
The winner, the national championship quarterback out of Notre Dame, CJ Carr.
April, I'll save some time and say that's my pick too.
All right. Well, you were next anyway, so thanks for nothing.
I guess
Thanks
you guys
for
saw
nothing.
he's the odds-on favorite, right?
Yeah.
What was that, Keith? I'm sorry.
He's the odds-on favorite right now to win it.
Yep. Okay.
People love voting for Notre Dame, guys, and Notre Dame has a marshmallow soft schedule.
Yes.
Joe, what say ye?
I would agree with that. I thought about that, but it's a big 18 world and we're just living in it. And I'm going to go with the Duck. Dante Ford
That's a good
and
pick.
Oregon and Dan Lanning winning it all.
All right. I like that West Coast vibe. Doug?
I'm the same. I think Dante Moore wins it out at Oregon.
All right. Let's round it out with Tom.
Mine is with the qualifier. I have this team making it to the playoffs and winning the SEC. So I think their quarterback will win, and that is Arch Manning.
Ooh.
I always knew I liked you best, Scarecrow. All right. So we're going to go, we're going to take a trip back to the SEC. Who do you, Ron Cook, we'll start with you, believe will be the SEC champion?
I got Georgia on my mind. Every coach has a protege that, for John Wooden, it was Denny Crum. For Bobby Knight, it was Coach K. I think for Saban, it's Kirby Smart. And I think despite the fact that his players cannot drive 55, Georgia takes the SEC.
Well played, Sammy Hagar.
Thank you.
A Ron Cook. All right, Joe Sperlin, what do you think?
Georgia.
Wow. All right. We're hanging on to the peach state here. What do you think, Doug?
I think Texas.
Oh,
They overcome that schedule, they will earn it, man.
Suck
It's
up.
true. It's ugly. Oh, he might want to visit, That's all I'm saying. Well, I mean, once it's under 1,000 degrees, whatever. Tom, what do you think?
Well, I kind of gave up my answer a few minutes ago. I cannot pick a team that has Gunnar Stockton as a quarterback. So I'm going with Texas.
Right on.
Mm-hmm.
Out.
We're going to say Georgia. I agree with my friend Ron up there.
All right. Well, we will all revisit this at a future time. The Georgia Texas. That will be an interesting SEC championship. Should it materialize? Let's go back to I can't even say a region of the country because it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't.
Big
Coast
Ten,
to coast.
Big Ten champions. What do you think, Joe?
This pains me to say this, but I'm going to have an addendum. I'd like to ask for a referendum to the addendum.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
Objection.
The Ohio State will win. They will get in the playoffs. They will step on their beep, beep, and they will run Ryan Day out of town. And as a guy told me once, when the crowd runs you out of town, get in the front and pretend like you're leading the parade.
I feel like I did whistle on that one, but I didn't. I was too. So, all right. Big 12 champions, OSU with an asterisk. Got it. Big 10 champs.
Oh, sorry.
Dr. Glenn,
Oregon.
sorry.
Oregon. I wish I had that duck head put on like Lee Corso.
I may or may not have written down oregano, so this may in when I say I can't find the stuff that we talked about with look in your kitchen with got it. Thanks. Tom Mathis.
I am going with the national champs. I think the Indiana Hoosiers will repeat.
You're a smart man, Tom Mathis. I will by acclamation say I agree with Tom Mathis.
Excellent. Keith, are we going to get a third or are you going to throw us a wild card here?
We're going to throw some oregano on the ducks.
Love it.
April, you went to culinary school. How would oregano be on duck? Would that be a seasoning?
I would do a little bit of orange, maybe like some blood orange, some, yeah, that's not what you really wanted to know. Big 12 champions, number 14. Big 12 champions. Let's go. Dr. Lansdowne first.
BYU.
All right. And Tom?
I agree with Doug, the Cougars.
All right. Do I hear a third, Keith?
No. Texas Tech is going to be the winner. I was big on them last year, and they followed through. Show me the money, Doug. All right.
Ray does. Okay. Ron.
I feel like it could be any of three teams. It could either be Texas Tech, it could be Utah, or it could be BYU. And I mean, I really think it could be any of those three, but I agree with Keith. Money talks. Go Texas Tech.
I was going to have to go all No Country for Old Men and say, choose. But
Brandon Sorsby he agrees. He's put $1,000 on Texas Tech to win.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. We'll have to see who he's betting on.
Although we do not endorse gambling. Am I right? Never mind. Joe, go ahead.
That's next week.
Oh, my bad.
As usual, the Big 12 is going to have a 5-way tie for the championship, and they're going to do all the tiebreakers to see who plays the championship game. But I'm going to go with BYU.
All right. Okay, we are down to 2. Number 15, and then we've got a wild card business. So, number 15, who do you believe will be the national champion of college football? Tom Mathis.
Back-to-back Indiana Hoosiers.
Woo! There we go.
Google me.
And Keith?
We're going with the Catholics.
What conference are they? Never mind. Again, I'm say that again.
Wow.
Ron Cook.
Back to my previous pick of the SEC, and the SEC will rise again. The South will rise again. Kirby Smart in Georgia.
That was a lot of words to say, Georgia, Ron. I'm so
It was.
yeah. Fair.
Yes.
Joe,
Duck
Crow.
meat. The Ducks.
oregano, nice. Doug,
Yep. I need the duck head to put on.
all right. Oh, I can't wait to create a menu out of all of that. It'll be great. All right. Now, do each of you have one quantifiable wild card prediction, starting with Keith?
Notre Dame goes undefeated.
Oh, bold choice. Love it. Very quantifiable. Quantify. Yeah. Good job.
Quantifiable, soft schedule. Yeah.
And Ron?
I think it was last year I said that Eli Drinkowitz wouldn't be extended. So I can't go to that well 2 years in a row. I'm going to keep it with LSU, and we'll know this one pretty soon, I think. But I'm going to say that the players that signed in the NFL, played briefly, will be eligible and will play at LSU, at Mizzou, at Kentucky, and at Texas this year.
Woo! Wow, that's a whole other podcast right there.
Oh, it totally is.
Love it. Okay, Joe Sperlin?
Once again, kids, go to law school. I think it was going to be such chaos on who the 12 should be that it's just going to go crazy, screaming for expansion. And then the whispers of, let's take our money and start our own conference and leave the NCAA will be coming out. And I know that's hard to quantify, but I think it's going to be such a argument on those last couple of spots that they're going to scream for expansion.
So like a live golf kind of a situation here.
But with more
Yes.
success.
I don't know about that, but yeah, okay.
I've given you the name already. It's going to be
Yes.
MCF, Major College Football.
Yeah.
Is that James? Is that James, Doug?
That's his boots.
No, it's Boots.
Come on,
I
Ron,
can't ever
you gotta
tell
get
those
your
two
shit
apart.
together.
Come on.
Good, buddy. Like you do something, Ron. Weird. Okay, Doug, how about you?
I think one of the non-power 4 schools, I can't keep it all straight. I think one of them wins a playoff game. Probably be Boise State, which Joe pointed out earlier.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, taking it back to the top of the pod here. And Tom, we are going to close it out with you.
I hate to disagree with Keith, but I think that Notre Dame will again lose a game to a team that they should not. Either Wisconsin, BYU, or SMU. They will lose one of those games this year. That's not Northern Illinois, but it's a game that they shouldn't lose.
Yeah, last year my prediction was they were going to lose. They're going to open up the season 0-2, and they did.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yep.
Texas A&M and
Miami, I believe.
right, it was Miami. Correct.
Yeah. And that's the game that probably kept them out of the playoffs was the Miami game.
Hey, and I'll say this, Notre Dame has to play at BYU.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Catholics versus the Mormons.
Yeah.
Back in dimension.
Get your T-shirts on, and then 2 weeks after that, it's the Catholics versus the convicts return match.
Again, as always, gentlemen, 15 questions plus a bonus, well reasoned, well thought out, never a disappointment.
April,
you.
you are too kind, and we appreciate your service.
Well, I just had to do that once. Sorry. For no reason at all.
And we have reached the point where we need to gather our thoughts and hear from the good folks at First Coast Steel Buildings. When we return, the Cardinals have a most disastrous weekend in Philadelphia and the PGA in the STL after the break.
Are you in the market for a barn dominium, house, garage, man cave, carport, or hobby shop? Wondering how to get started or where to go? Whatever you are looking to design, look no further than First Coast Steel Buildings. Give Jason and his team a call at 912-314-4848. They will guide you through the process, designing your building to fit your specific needs and budget. Call them today at 912-314-4848 or get inspirational ideas and start designing your own by visiting them at firstcoaststeel.com. Again, that's the number 1, coaststeel.com. Their low-cost buildings are fully galvanized steel, providing you with worry-free, low-maintenance requirements, integrity, quality, and a family-first approach. First Coast Steel Buildings, 912-314-4848 or firstcoaststeel.com. Discounts for military and first responders.
And we are back on the St. Louis Sportus Podcast, along with Joe Sperlin, Doug Lansdowne, Tom Mathis, and Keith Farrell, joined by April Sechting from deep in the heart of Texas. Yes, folks, this is the fullest house, the fullest of fullest houses tonight. And Doug Lansdowne, the St. Louis Cardinals, went into Philadelphia, and other than, let's see, they lost 4 players to the injured list. Could things have gone much worse over that weekend?
No, they were due to get caught up on some injuries. I mean, they had been very lucky on the pitching and stuff. Tom and I were talking earlier, though. I felt like they kind of did Ollie and some of those guys an injustice. I mean, I know guys get hurt, but they had to know that Wynn wasn't going to be able to play. I mean, you don't go to Philadelphia and play as shorthanded as they did. That was not fair. So,
yeah, and Tom, it was both the pitching and the position players because you lose 2 starters in one day, and since you are Cardinal minor league czar Tom Mathis, there weren't a lot of ready arms to promote from Memphis right now.
No, there's really not. I mean, and the guys that, are on the roster, they're coming back from Tommy John surgery. So that, they're not going to want to push him up here, rush him up here. You got some guys, and then like Sinjay, he's not even on the 40-man roster, but I don't think you want to bring him up. But they do have a couple guys that, a little bit older, 27 or so. And, Josh Fleming and Pete Hansen, but, we've never heard of them. We don't know much about them. They're more minor league free agents, I think. But, those would have been the only guys really they could have brought up at this time.
Yeah, it gets so desperate that when you start hearing Miles Michaelis' name, Keith Farrell, you hear, Miles Michaelis and Nolan Gorman is where you look for comfort in this time. That shows how desperate you really are.
Yeah, they wanted to see their attendance drop in half. Just bring Miles Michaelis back into that stadium. That would have gone against the entire fabric of what they were trying to do this year. Listen, I get it. They could have brought up somebody, and I get the reasoning for and not bringing somebody in, but the Gorman situation is perplexing just because there's more players deserving, and I don't care who it is. He is not one to bring up on that. That is sending the total wrong message to every other player on the 40-man that's trying to get to the big leagues. Is mediocrity to poor performance and you get promoted is the absolute wrong message. And if he is on this roster next year, you lost me. I mean, he's in confused. I mean, what I hear today, he batted 179 in the last 8 games leading up to getting promoted. And the only reason he got promoted, I'm guessing, is because he was 3 for 4 against last night's pitcher against Baltimore with 3 home runs. So he had the game of his life against this clown on the mound for the Orioles, and he struck out 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And then, what do you need defensively? You need a shortstop. So JC, to me, was the guy that they should have brought up. And you've been playing him at shortstop or second, and Weatherholt at one of the two. But I don't know. It's kind of perplexing why they brought him up.
Yeah, Doug, if you're Thomas Sajaci and you see all this going on, do you kind of think, wow, my future might not be in this organization?
Yeah, but I agree with Keith. Gorman cannot be on this roster next year. There's just no way.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, this is a combination of around the league and the Cardinals at the same time. All of the major betting houses have moved Sal Stewart of the Cincinnati Reds, who we've agreed on this podcast has a very punchable face. Sal has moved ahead of our own J.J. Weatherholt in the Rookie of the Year. What do you think about that?
Well, because Sweet Sal is going to have over 30 home runs and over 100 RBIs. And we all know that chicks and Rookie of the Year voters love the long ball. and JJ's going to have maybe 60 RBIs with maybe 20 home runs. And they're not going to see that Sal also is going to have over 150 strikeouts too. So the 30 and 100 RBIs is probably going to win it for him.
And the defense at second base over Stewart's iron glove at the first or third is, that's a big thing they need to take into account.
Yeah, Stewart's best position is batter. So,
yes. Designated hitter.
I would agree. Hey, Doug, did you see that basically the allegedly word came down that the Dodgers need to ride Scooball, Joe's buddy, like he's a rented mule for the rest of the year, and just because apparently he's not coming back to the Dodgers next year.
Coming back. If you're going to pick a guy to ride, it's probably him. His big old wide shoulders. Yeah, he probably could do it. But yeah, if that doesn't scream there's a lockout coming, I don't know what does.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say, or he's made a lot of friends now that he's been out in California, hasn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, and Ohtani's supposed to be pitching Sunday, possibly.
Oh,
Wow. To ramp up for the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they do out there is they rest these guys for a month or so and then get them ready for the playoffs.
1 year ago in this podcast, I said that the Ohio State University was the Borg. I think the Borg is now the Dodgers but if you do remember, they found a way to blow up the Borg, which I think they're going to do on their own. So, hey, MLB correspondent at large, Joe Sperlin, anything else we need to be aware of?
The other thing I'm going to say is if you got enough money, you may be able to be a part owner of the LA Dodgers. If you've got enough, if you have the proper financing, you could own a portion of the Dodgers.
If you have improper financing, you can do it.
Section 236 is the owner's box.
Yeah. The National League, I'm going to say there's 4 teams going for that one spot. I've eliminated the Pirates with 7.5 teams out. Now, too bad the Cardinals couldn't be in the American League West. They would only be half a game out of first place.
Oh. That's your Rangers and Astros there, April. You're having quite a summer of baseball down in the Lone Star State.
I'm sorry, there's another sport besides football? Very confused.
I think that says it all.
I'll later.
Hey, closer to home. When I say closer to home, less than 10 miles from Keith, where you and I are sitting, the 50 of the best golfers in the world came to St. Louis this past weekend for the BMW Championship. Doug, I heard nothing but rave reviews on this event.
Well, they broke all the records for where the BMW has been all over the place for the last 10 years. And, when the PGA was there in 2018, they broke the record too for attendance. So, and the course held up. I mean, they shot so early, but you could tell nobody made a putt those last 2 days, except for Wyndham. He made a couple when it mattered.
That's what Jamie was talking about it, and I didn't want to get into the stemp meter with her at that point. But my gosh, it had to be just like putting on glass out there. Speaking of out there, Joe Sperlin, you were there. How was it, man?
I was there. It was a great experience. It was Emma's 21st birthday. With her being a college golfer, it was her first PGA event, my first PGA event, and nothing but great things to say. The trip out there, getting there in and out was great. Just walking around was great. The weather was great. Everybody was friendly. Everybody, I always like hearing these good old boys talking about the shots that those guys hit when they're sitting there talking about the shots they need to hit out of the rough, like they were caddying with them. Even Emma was laughing at some of them about, oh yeah, that guy was saying that ball looked pretty pretty buried in the rough that he thought he didn't know if he could get it on the green, and he smacked it right in the middle of the green, and Emma just kind of laughed at him. But talking about the greens, as I said to Emma, I'm pretty sure I did not see a green that I couldn't have 3-putted on easily. Maybe even 4. The greens were huge, and they had every pin tucked in there, but those guys were hitting them. But it's like I told Emma, I go, have you seen anyone have a straight putt yet besides a tap in? I always like saying the greens were very curvy, very hilly, and they were huge. And I did. I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I could have 3-putt those every green very easily.
You talk about the bunker shots. My buddy was out there for the practice round, and he was watching Adam Scott, and he said watching him practice the bunker shots was just unbelievable. He enjoyed it. That was his favorite part of the day.
Well, Doug, you'll agree to this, and Emma said it too. Watching those guys swing live is a heck of a lot different than watching them on TV.
Yes,
because you're just sitting there going, "Dang, that's a nice swing," and just the way they, there was times hitting it out of the rough, you could not see the ball, and you're like, "Is he going to get this on the green from here?" And right in the middle of the green, and you're like, "It's just amazing." And what was the old PGA advertising at one time? These guys are really good.
These guys are good.
Yeah.
Well, and Doug, you and I talked about Doug and Joe. I think all of us have talked about. I said that I just wanted to hear Dustin Johnson hit the ball, off the tee, which is crazy.
Yep.
Hey, Keith Farrell, Scotty Scheffler came down with a medieval condition that I didn't know was actually still existing: hand, foot, and mouth disease. And he still toughed it out. Didn't see that coming.
That's a rarity to actually. He didn't make excuses for it, though. Did not say that that affected his play. He did tough it out. Is that contagious? I mean, because if it was, it caught
Highly
Rory McIlroy on the on 16 and 17. But
he didn't shake hands with anybody because it was so contagious.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Ever had a preschooler? Highly contagious. You don't want anything to do with that.
So how do you get it? By shaking someone's hand how is it a virus? Is this something you get from your shoe, or
you get it from little kids who never wash their hands after they go to the bathroom.
Yes.
Oh.
Gross.
Damn it, Jim! I'm a podcaster, not a doctor.
So, yeah.
Hey, Doug. Anything we need to look at here, Doug and Keith, both? Anything you're looking at here on the final week? I mean, we got. Is this this is it, right?
This is it, and a guy who finally remembered that he's really, really damn good is Patrick Cantlay, who just disappeared for a couple of years. When we went to the Ryder Cup a few years back, he was the best player up there. And like I said, he just kind of disappeared for a while, but I think he's figured out that he's really good. So I would watch out for him in hot Atlanta.
I was going to say, too, one of the takeaways was it's kind of fun betting golf. When you're like, there is a few holes where you're like, this guy he's hitting pretty well. So just playing some birdie golf, and I'm ahead on my golf.
I'd like to add one thing is, like, right now everybody's saying we deserve a yearly event. I don't think so. I like getting one every 5 or 6 years, having a major. In 31, we're having the President's Cup. I just don't know that we would keep this if we have the sponsorship to do a yearly event, and if we'd have it attended as well as this.
If it would be special enough to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly right.
The question. The question is, would you rather have a major tournament fly into town every 4 or 5 years, or would you rather have an annual, Steeple tournament? or Stiefel's
Yeah.
tournament or something like that. So yeah, I agree.
And the way it's going with the tournament, the weekly tournaments right now, you can't guarantee you're going to have a good, turnout with the players.
Mhm.
That's
Unless-
right.
After American Century in Reno at Lake Tahoe with all the pro-am stuff. Because that's in.
Yeah.
Unless you've got Aaron Rodgers throwing the football to the guy on the boat,
Boom. Exactly.
Yeah. And I think after you talk about Aaron Rodgers throwing a football to a guy on a boat, you have to say it's time for the last call, brought to you by Black Dog Consulting. With over 38 years.
If not now, when?
If not now, when? If not me, who? If not now, when? With over 38 years in the transportation industry, our buddy Dave knows where to look to find those pennies per mile that make the difference between just getting by and profit and growth. From one-truck operations to small fleet owners, he has a proven multi-million-dollar track record to help you retrieve bigger profits. Contact Dave at 417-217-9622 or David at blackdogconsultingllc.net. Joe Sperlin, what do you have for a last call?
I'm going to take a quick shot here, and I'm just going to say I'm glad college football starts Saturday in week 0, and let's quit talking about the court cases and which appeal judge and which state, and let's just get to the games and let's get that over with. I hope that's taken care of soon. I always thought if you signed a pro contract, it was pretty easy that you can't come back.
Exactly.
I don't know.
This has been a year for things you think you know you don't know. And I'm not. I won't go into the WNBA too much on that. Doug Lansdowne, what do you have?
Go back to golf. Just a few minutes. Our good friends at Live look like they finally give up. So, there was the word came down that they were laying off people, and I did some checking, and I think they said going into next week they would have 3 employees.
Oh, that's quite the layoff.
That's quite
And
the
that's-
layoff. Yeah,
Doug,
it's
that's
rumored
probably
they'd
not
have
the
3,
people-
but it doesn't matter. Every so often somebody thinks they can run with the big boys. It doesn't matter. It's, one of the sports always, but the main ones are the main ones, have been forever and will continue to be.
Yep.
Doug, I was going to say those 3 don't work in the financial department, do they?
No.
They do not.
Operations.
Yeah.
Nor marketing. Nor the marketing.
No, April, we're always the first to go. And gentlemen, as I said earlier today, I'm waiting for the headline, Live and Let Die.
Genius.
Mr. Mathis.
I'm going to cover a couple of the Cardinals minor league sluggers that are left in the system now that Joshua Baez is up here.
He just
right
struck
now,
out.
Yeah. He's still hitting the ball good. Rainiel Rodriguez, he's 19 years old. He's the
19.
number 1 Cardinal prospect. He's the number 18 overall. Since June 9th, he's hitting .374, which is first in all of minor league baseball. His on-base percentage is .433, which is 12th. His slugging is .712, which is third. And his OPS is 1.145, and that's first.
It's like wiffle balls.
Exactly. So just so everybody knows, 1.00 is almost perfect. It's hard to beat. So he's got 23 home runs and 74 RBIs on the year. He's the 6th teenager in the last 20 years to hit 15 home runs at the AA level. I'm also going to cover Jesus Baez. He was who the Cardinals got back for Ryan Helsley last year. They gave up a whole 20 innings of Helsley to get Baez. Baez is the Cardinals' number 15 prospect. He's hit 34 home runs on the year between Peoria and Springfield right now with 91 RBIs. He's hitting .290 with a .982 OPS in Springfield. So he's been pretty good. They went back on Sunday, they went back to back 2 times.
Yeah.
They've got some power down there in Springfield right now.
They do, and I saw something today that there's a projection that Rodriguez could be the number 1 overall prospect in all of baseball next spring.
Yeah, I wouldn't surprise me, and I do believe if there wasn't going to be a lockout, that he would be in St. Louis to start the season next year.
Yeah,
Take it.
Mr. Farrell.
I don't get to start off a phrase like this very often, but good for FIFA. They suspended 3 Argentina players from the little melee that they had at the World Cup final. A lot of times FIFA, is under constant criticism for bad decisions, and this was a good one. So they suspended 3 players from sanctioned events. One guy got a 10-game suspension. Another guy, I think, got 7. Another guy got 1. So there you go.
10's a lot.
10's a lot.
That's significant. Yeah. Wow. April Sexting.
Well, when they go high, you go low or something like that. No, not really. My last is about the San Francisco 49ers because they just can't catch a break. Despite a really strong roster, some analysts expect them to have a 3rd place finish in the NFC West. Most sheer strength of the division versus any weaknesses on their squad. But they are also managing nearly 24 injuries heading into their last preseason game. And their opener against a strong LA Rams team is going to be in Melbourne, Australia, a 17-hour time difference. That's not even the bad part yet. In the category of self-inflicted wounds, I know you know where I'm going here. Team owner York, a.k.a. Joe, no relation to our Joe, was a
What? Huh? What?
weekend for soliciting can I say this on the air?
Go ahead.
Yes.
Prostitute who turned out to be an undercover police officer. And this is at the escort business equivalent of a Dollar General.
So
The
was she
arrest-
moonlighting?
I mean, we'll see. The Ohio trailer park.
Allegedly.
In the mobile home community was not actually part of the investigation, just the takedown. The incident report states that York was told to meet the undercover officer at the mobile home park, but he was given a fictitious lot number. So after the charges were reduced to 2 misdemeanors, York ultimately pleaded no contest. He was sentenced to 1 day in jail for each charge, and he paid over $1,100 in fines, making this the most expensive.
Did you see the charges that he pled to? Possession of criminal tools. That's what they called. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Boy, isn't that the truth?
Oh. I'm going to attempt to bring us back to slight respectability. Your St. Louis City is now 4th in the West. They're 9-6-6. They're 6th overall in the MLS power ratings. And this past week was one of the most bizarre in the history of the franchise, Keith. They trade away one of their original members and one of their most popular members, Edward Leuven, on a Saturday before playing the number 1 team in the Western Conference. And then what happens? They go out and beat the number 1 team in the Western Conference. Joe Sperlin, you were in the Thunderdome for that game.
Yes.
It was a thrilling late goal. Keith, you were on the scene. You were at the game.
Yeah.
And so City continues to move up like a rocket ship after a terrible start. They still have 6 days left in the transfer window to add that striker we all know they need. So right now, everyone's watching that, Keith.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of anxiety looking for your number 9, your scorer, your guy who you moved a lot of cash to obtain. No one really knows what's going to happen. And it's
no idea. No idea.
I think this team is proving that they're beyond, they are a balanced team. Betcher's playing great. They're not, and I think the biggest difference from my vantage point and the vantage point of people in row 20 behind the goals is that they're putting shots on the net. And, before Dammit showed up and started implementing a system, these guys were just rocketing the ball from all areas of the field. People in rows 15 through 20 were running for their lives. And you're just getting more quality shot attempts. And it's so connected. It's so nice to see. In Leuven, listen, you're a good dude, man. Everyone loved you. But you know something? You didn't produce. And that's where
his playing time was going down.
Yes. Yeah, because he's not, he's you notice him on the field. He's got a presence about him on the field. But ultimately, I like to see the scorecard and the agate page, and I like to see goals.
And this Sunday night is a critical game. They play Dallas, with whom they are tied in the standings. Exactly, in points, record, everything. So that's going to be a big game this Sunday. And by the way, as far as those shots, is that Boots again, Doug?
This is Boots.
Okay. So by the way, two of the West Wing guys, Tom, Joe, the shots were that. And that was something for our YouTube folks and our West Wing folks. On that note, we want to thank all of you for joining us and surviving to this point. And we will see all of you next week on the St. Louis Sportis Podcast. And until then, take care.
And that wraps another episode of the St. Louis Sportis Podcast. Please like and subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest episodes. You can find these guys on all major podcast platforms. And thanks for listening.